Hi, this is Kerry Artak with Wicked Stocks, bringing you your daily NVIDIA report for Tuesday, May 13th, 2025. Let's take a look at the charts. Several weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, actually 2 weeks ago, last Friday, we settled above these convergent channel structures. Now a 112.74 down to 108 and a quarter. At the time, I think they were in the 114 handle. That was considered and still is considered a long-term buy signal, anticipating 3 to 5 months recovery back into the low 150s high area from January of this year. On the way up, I've been mentioning a 2/3 speed line that all week long is 122.38 on the weekly chart. The same structure on the daily chart, 121.82. I'd like to see another day of upside. I mean, if you're long now, I'm not trying to talk you out of being long. I think we have a valid buy signal. I mean, after all, this is less than 6 months long. And if it were 6 months, I would ask a 1% violation on that. But it's probably not a bad idea anyway. So if you add 122 to 122.38, you'll get 123.60. Did I do that right? Yeah, 123.60. I don't have that here in the support and resistance area, but you may mark that. Closing today above 123.60 would be, kind of the confirmation I'm looking for anticipating 136.62 over the next 2 to 3 weeks. And yes, we're already anticipating 153.13 over the next 3 to 5 months. Just an FYI that if over the next this is climbing at a pretty steep pace, so I don't expect this at all. But if we get the kind of protracted move that we've had since, for the last 3 or 4 weeks, we could see this in 2 weeks, 136.62. It is able to contain weekly buying pressures, and if settled above, should then yield the 153 area objective within another 2 to 3 weeks. But until then, this is a meaningful channel structure that can contain weekly, possibly monthly buying pressures on the way up to our 3 to 5 month objective at 153.13. And so all of that is under play. On the way up today, I do have 127.72. I don't know if we'll see that today. We just might. That is the 5/8 upside Fibonacci from that January high against the more recent April low. I'm calling it a 3 to 5 day target right now above 121.82. 127.72 able to contain daily highs. If over the next 3 to 5 days we close above 127.72, then this 136.62 rising channel top becomes the next 1 to 2 week objective, where we can top out, as I say, for at least a week, if not an entire month. And now for the downside, if we happen to break or open below 121.82, we can revisit, we have not yet tested it. Isn't that funny? We've not actually tested it on an intraday basis. 119.88 I'm talking. That is the 50% upside retracement from the January high against that April low. We leapfrogged over it Monday morning, and our low is 120.28, which we have as a minor point. So, breaking or opening below 121.82 today does signal 119.88. We could bottom out here for the day. If we close today below 121.82 and we do not close below 119.88, I still think that's a 3 to 5 day sell signal down to roughly 115.10. Potentially this new rising channel bottom at 111.16. In fact, that is what I would like to say, that if we close today below 121.82, if you're long now, I see a good reason to exit that long early enough so that you could also maybe play the short side down to 111.16. If we close below 121.82 and you're looking to go short, that would be the opportunity down to 111.16. 111.16 can contain, at least weekly selling pressures. Now, this is a bit of a moving target. We've got a descending channel top at 108.05, a new rising channel bottom. There will be other things going on, so I don't want to commit to this 111 handle support. It is certainly a down pivot into next week if we were to close below it. But I will say, closing below 121.82, we can fall back into the 108, 111 handle, should fall back into this zone of support, 112.74, 108 and a quarter. I can't give you an exact number right now because it hasn't occurred yet. It might take a few days, and if we do then close below 121.82 later in the week, all these numbers are a little different. But I will say I like to be long above 121.82, 136.62 likely over the next 2 to 3 weeks, the low 150s over the next 3 to 5 months. On the way up, 127.72 is a 3 to 5 day target right now, able to contain daily highs. Closing below 121.82 does indicate a good weekly high, possibly a good high through the rest of May, as we can over the next week or two fall to 111.16 or lower. I'm not comfortable with 111.16 as a long-term support level. I know we have it as a 4-star support, but I think it's going to be a little lower, and we will, once we see what the high is, we'll be able to put a little bit more of ourselves into that. But I think at the very least, closing below 121.82, you can play the short side through the rest of the week, 111.16 in reach. And certainly if we were to close below 119.88, that is a double sell signal, also below 121.82. Does that answer everything? I'm looking at the charts. Yeah, I think that pretty much covers it. Please click like, share, subscribe. Check out wickedstocks.com. Take advantage of our 5-day free trial. Last week, we put out 2 stock picks, one on GitLab, the other on Lockheed Martin. Today, Tuesday, we'll put out one. Thursday, we'll put out another. You can see all of them by going to wickedstocks.com and taking advantage of our 5-day free trial, where you will also see daily triple Q and daily SPY analysis, just like NVIDIA and Tesla. Weekly Apple stock analysis. So you'll get a lot for 5 days. I'm going to leave it at that for Tuesday's NVIDIA report. I'll be back tomorrow, of course, with Wednesdays. You have a great day.